All right, well, listen, we got a few minutes left here. Let's try to keep this under 7 minutes for total this
Sure.
segment. But last topic before we go to AEW Dynamite, we're going to dive into some WWE because it hasn't been represented much here on this show since we covered WrestleMania. But because, they're not usually as freewheeling and as AEW is, and that's why we don't really review it in detail. But some would say they're more professional than AEW. The storylines are cohesive, I guess. Slow progressing, very slow progressing. Anyways, the Bloodline story was all the rage heading into WrestleMania. But I got a text from Vlad today saying that WWE has sucked since WrestleMania. So, Vlad, you brought it up. So why don't you go ahead? You have the floor. Has WWE sucked since WrestleMania?
I think it has. It's pretty bad. These shows are hard to get through. They're getting harder and harder. I mean, there's no there's no where you can turn to watch good wrestling nowadays. It's such a shame because you turn to AEW and you don't even know what the heck you're going to see there. And then WWE, I don't even know what they're doing, man. They're just putting you to sleep, and they're running the same people every time with, the Usos and Owens and Sammy, and it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah,
and
Viking Raiders versus the Alpha Academy and all that, and Ricochet and Braun Strowman.
Sure, I mean it's the same people every week. There's nothing new happening on these shows.
The brand split. Are you're?
Oh my God, the draft things were so bad. The shows were so boring. Nobody understands what the heck is going on in these drafts. Who's drafting? What's happening? When there were two GMs, at least it kind of made some sense. But now it's just like random people coming in to make the picks. It was so dumb. So bad.
Robert, is there anything that's popped out to you since WrestleMania that you could think of off the top of your head that you've liked?
That I liked?
Yeah. Or are you with Vlad? Has it just been all bad?
Okay, so right off the bat, after was it the Raw after WrestleMania? I saw the leaks that Vince McMahon was officially back, and that right there, just that news alone killed it for me because I thought WWE was had good momentum under Triple H, so just that news alone was like heartbreaking. And then I don't know, the stuff that I did actually watch.
How about okay? I'll throw one out there. Cody feuding with Lesnar. Come on, that's a pretty marquee.
I was going to say I was going to say two things. I was going to say that one, and I was going to say I think Priest and Bad Bunny actually is not bad.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. You stole the words right out of my mouth.
So those two things have been good. Those two things have been good, and and they're pretty much going to main event the pay-per-view that's coming on, I think, this weekend, actually, right? It's coming up Saturday,
Backlash,
right?
yeah.
Oh, it's this Saturday? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, listen, I have a quick question for Robert, because you talked about it, Vlad. You talked about the brand split. Robert, this brand split, come on. Can you buy this at all? I mean, we touched on it a little bit for the World Heavyweight title last week, but we didn't really talk about the fact that they're going to completely separate the rosters. Something that we've seen, and they always end up coming back together again.
It's been done before, and they just didn't, stick with the idea. You see the wrestlers from the other from Raw going to SmackDown and vice versa. So what was the whole point of this?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It just seems like it's going to be a wave forever. They're going to split it, and then they're going to come back to the point where they want to reunify the titles and have the one true champion, and then split it again, and then do it all over again. I guess this is going to be the pattern from now on. But it's so hard for the wrestlers to sell this because obviously we all want to know who's the ultimate best. And then now suddenly, okay, we're all just going to split up again, and we're all going to be cool with that and having two separate titles everywhere. So I think that that has been a major detriment to the storyline since WrestleMania, heading into Backlash, and supposedly after Backlash they're going to completely split apart again. But I will give a kudos to Bad Bunny, which I'm glad that you actually see that was kind of funny, because if you actually listen to his music or know who he is, you'd know how ridiculously hilarious. When he showed up with the what did he have, like a cane or something, or a kendo stick?
He had a kendo stick.
Yeah, and he was ready to get down with Damian Priest. Oh, well, I like that scene when he socked Dominic. He threw a good punch, very good punch. That was a well
I
worked.
think it was a stiff shot.
And then he
give him a little potato.
And then he took the choke slam through the table.
Yeah, he took it pretty good.
So
it's been good. It's been a fun little mini feud post WrestleMania. Those are the only two things that really stick out, for sure.
well, okay, so it hasn't sucked that bad. There's been something. You just said like I'm like
okay, but
I texted you in the morning. I'm
things
like, you got any topics? You're like, how about how much WWE has sucked since WrestleMania? I'm like, okay.
Well, it has sucked as a whole. But yes, if you're asking me, has there been anything that's been good at all? Yes, those two things have been okay. I'm not saying they're like the end of the world great. We're not talking about like, I don't know, like NWO good or something like that. But it's been quality. It's been okay. Those two things. But we're talking about like 5-hour shows if you combine their two main shows. So I mean, so no, overall they've been really bad.
Well, Robert, come on, give me
okay.
one word. Sucked? Yes. Is it suck? Yes or no?
Oh, overall?
Overall.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I gotta go to commercial. We're out of time for this segment. Let's move along. Speaking of sucking, this segment has been brought to you by